That's how little people donate to me. Is even with all the treats, every time somebody donates, she lost 20 pounds since last year. She was 85 pounds last year. Extremely obese, obese doggo. She's 65 pounds now, so I'm very proud of her. I'm very proud of me of not giving in when she's like looking at me when I'm eating my dinner with those. You see the puppy dog eyes? Like, how do you resist that?
My mom's got this little Irish, little blonde Irish Terrier mix thing named Barney, or I call him short shit. And I mean, yeah, I know Irish with blonde hair. I get it. But, and that's not a crack on blondes. He's actually incredibly intelligent. But he is the world's worst about, hey, you have food. What do you have? I want some. Yeah.
Hey, do you want to take bets on how much of this conversation that we just had the last 10 minutes or so will be clipped and put onto a certain Discord server?
Oh, I have it under good authority that we're being stream sniped from another, from at least one other channel. Seven dogs, tube socks. Is that one of your tube socks? 7?
Oh.
Yes, you are being restreamed, motherfucker.
Whoever's channel is sniping us right now, if you like true crime, if you know anybody who's a middle-aged woman, middle-aged white women love true crime. Send them over to Katie Zed.
I don't have a Purple Heart.
Katie Zed on YouTube.
I don't have a Purple Heart.
I actually like true crime.
Drama over there. We cover actual cases.
I like
you don't do drama. It's the trolls do the drama. But Richard Raj Key,
I thought he was a troll.
Thank you, Richard.
I thought he was a troll.
Oh yes, Miss Lupe called me sick idiot for getting mad at Shiz for what they pulled. I couldn't believe a person who we all called sis did that.
And his fake wife that sounds like his mom.
It's not the first time.
I don't have that way for a couple of weeks, Richard. But thank you very much, brother.
His fake kids.
And it's amazing to me.
What was it, $1,200?
Like never mind. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, but
I don't like to get into this, but
you know, you're a good man, Richard, and I consider you a good friend. That's why you're one of the few people that I've given my cell phone number to. And
I don't even have his cell phone number, guys.
And that's why you're you know, welcome to call me at any time you want to.
Oh, that's a pretty doggy.
I may not always be able to answer, but I'll know that you called and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Now, granted, apparently my cell phone number was thrown out there a few months ago, but most people have been fairly respectful about not, you know, using it.
Brandon Mitchell.
So that is what it is.
Brandon here.
And,
what's up, Brandon?
But yeah, so I'm over it, you know.
Guys, don't.
Yeah, I just need
for those that are coming in, don't miss my live in 41 minutes. You're not going to want to miss the premiere in 41 minutes.
I'm not going to bring that over to my true crime audience has been messing like my actual people, not the people who invaded yesterday. My actual people who enjoy learning safety tips. Learning about crimes that happened.
I like her true crime show.
It's actually because a lot of the stuff I cover is very heavy. You have to have laughs in there too. Have contacted me today saying they could not watch the stream. They had to go back and rewatch it because the chat ruined it, and the topic we were covering was very interesting. These are people who aren't in the frauditing community, don't know about these people. They don't like transparency. And you all could have had more people viewing your channels.
No, they do not.
If they learned about it and were interested enough to, you know, pique their interest enough to go seek out your content. But all of those people, they're not going to come over to this community when they see how toxic it is from my chat.
They're not. Now,
like I have over 2,000 people, and granted, a lot of them are probably already from this community, but at least half of them are not, because that's how many I had before I even discovered this community.
Well, you noticed who became a new subscriber and member tonight, didn't you?
I did not.
Number 2.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, she
I took a number 2
She
once.
got herself a. She was awarded a guest membership.
Left it in the toilet.
Never even heard of First Amendment auditing before a month ago. Number 2.
Well, okay, well,
you might want to learn about First Amendment auditing.
There's days covering this stuff that
this.
It absolutely
Whatever it is that you're
slays me.
With.
Yeah,
and just I haven't either, Richard. It never even crossed my mind to screenshot the private conversation I was having with somebody I thought was my friend. It would never even occur to me to do that.
Yeah, and I was trying to tell Dave about what happened in your Discord server.
What Discord server?
Well, that's the thing, and I was trying to explain it to him, and I kind of wish I would have screenshotted some of that because it's easier to just see what was happening that day. It was it was like 24 hours.
What did Brandon say?
Even. But it never even occurred to me to screenshot it.
Did he get blocked?
Exactly.
And that was a public server,
They timed him out.
Exactly. And
and people still trust.
It makes me wonder how much of certain things were real.
Yeah,
that I got drawn into. Well, I'm not just that.
I don't have a Purple Heart.
I just got a note. I just got a notice.
I don't have a Purple Heart.
That Georgia Transparency is doing something else stupid, so I guess I'll have to deal with him.
I got drawn into covering an entire case about somebody's husband.
Hold on one second.
Because of this person. I didn't know any better. I didn't know this person. It was brand new to me.
What
and
the
I saw,
hell is
a murder case?
His problem
looks interesting.
Georgia Transparency.
I'll look into it. It was an interesting.
He's fascinated with Georgia Transparency. I think.
The way I went about doing that case.
Does he have like a hard-on
because they thought
I think so.
And I did not. I invited that person.
Yeah, people were mad because they didn't get to use you as their personal pit bull.
Absolutely. And that's not how I operate. I invited the person, the convicted murderer's wife to come on and talk to me about it. I prayed for them like I do everybody. Friends, enemies, I pray for everybody. That's just how I roll. And
nothing wrong with prayer.
Awesome, Brandon.
Nothing wrong with prayer
at all. I'll be honest with you. From the way that a certain person hyped up what your live stream was going to be on another server.
How you doing, buddy?
They were mad.
It was expected to be somewhere.
They wanted blood.
In a different realm than it was. And, to be honest with you, until you had done that, I really hadn't had the time to check out any of your content. Mm-hmm. And I remember when we met. Seriously,
on, he's one of my favorite.
On Big Wes's, when you were being a moderator. And
Gump.
I was taking Matthew
music and
because he was going after Wes, because he's like, you're doing this, and I'm like, you leave Big Wes alone, damn it. Matthew. Nope.
Which, by the way, I do enjoy moderating for debates like that, because even if personally I have a side, I can put my personal biases aside and let people have a chance to speak. And I think the reason for that is because I am always open to have my mind changed.
Well, since we're being restreamed,
I enjoy having my mind changed.
Mr. Wrangler,
I want to hear what you have to say.
I'm inviting you, or whoever's listening to this. I'm inviting you, Mr. Wrangler, to come to my channel and do an interview with me.
Roseanne,
Highway Star just donated 5 Fraudit Wrangler memberships that went to Frank Leslie, Roseanne Massman.
I wanted the same thing, buddy. She's got his boot so far in her mouth that it's not even funny.
Wow, man! Thank you so much for your generous gift.
They just put down. They just wrote down that
all 5 of the new Fraudit Wrangler Roughnecks, as we always say.
Welcome to the Roughnecks.
Welcome to the Roughneck. Yeah, you're a fucking
people. It's a sport to them. I was told today they're going to look into my past. I said, good luck with that. They're going to be
pretty blue eyes, though. Yeah. Are they blue?
Well, we're going to have a
I think so. She's Clinton now. I can't tell.
They're going to spend
because it's something I got while we were in the middle of this that is not going to go out on the air just yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And if it goes out on the air, it'll be from you, not me. Period.
They're going to spend a lot of time looking into my past and not really find very much of anything that I haven't already said.
And that's my whole point. Is it's you know what this reminds me of? All of this garbage. You know what it really reminds me of? It's like if they made a movie that would roughly be the bastard child of Fletch and Mean Girls.
Ooh.
That's what it reminds me of.
Not a sport.
It's no different than a frauditor saying, "Oh, I'm an independent journalist gathering content for a story."
Which
no, you're no. Wait a minute. He's not an independent journalist gathering content for a story. He is somebody that creeps into your window at night and steals your paint bills.
Some of the good ones on the news, or they've sold it to the Associated Press, or
Well, and normally this would be the part where I'd say I know of two such ones that I would recommend doing it. But due to some of their behavior recently, it has been cut down to just one. And that is Terry over at Ironton Auditor. Because that man goes out and does his whole thing.
He's not going to give me credit anymore.
Yeah.
Due to my recent behavior.
Piss off.
Yeah, go
Pardon my language, man.
But Ranger, I thought we were buddies, my man.
Yeah, and that's what it reminds me of. Is it's people
I thought we were buddies.
Get relevancy so very badly wanting to be relevant.
I don't have a
I don't want
heart.
relevancy. That's not why I'm doing this. Absolutely not why.
Yes, he does.
Doing this.
McRae. Is because
exactly this has nothing
when it comes to Terry
to do with being relevant.
You know, he had a little stretch where he got
this has nothing to do with being popular
that is
ShlT subscribers, right?
And
what's this?
Oh God, it's about fucking honor.
And then he realized what he was. And he just said, to hell with that. He went back to doing Terry and what Terry does.
No fucking
And Terry is a good man. And like I said, when he does live streams, Kimmy and I will both watch him. You know, Terry's wife is absolutely first class. She's a true lady. And
we have nothing against Iron Auditor, guys. Iron Auditor is awesome.
And
thank you.
You know, and on subject, I don't know. Are you familiar with social informed media here?
I've heard of it, but I'm not.
All right. Well, let me give you.
It's one of those things that I probably, if I saw it, I would have seen it before.
I'm sorry. This guy is a freaking idiot. And while it's on mute, do you want to tell everybody that's here that's going on at 10?
Yes. Absolutely. I wish somebody would drop the link for it.
Go ahead. Do it, man.
Well, I can't. I'm not in YouTube. In 31 minutes, it'll probably show that if you're subscribed to us and that I have a video dropping, and I think you guys are going to like it. Should be fun.
It's going to be you have an interview with exclusive, right? With
yes, with an exclusive interview with this jack off that's on the screen right now.
Oh, really? This asshole right here.
Yes, I don't have a Purple Heart.
No, the better thing he should be saying is, "I'm not a goddamn soldier."
Yeah, no shit. He never even got through basic training. We have the proof, mofo.
I'm wrong about something.
Huh?
He has no problem calling me out on it. But that's, like I said, that's what I love about him the most is that he does always makes me reflect inward.
Yeah.
And he makes me think, okay, is my opinion being skewed? Is my opinion being biased? He makes me actually think about the other side of it. Because one of the things about me is that And my propensity for playing devil's advocate drives Kimmy absolutely insane.
So who is he talking about now?
I mean, I can see
whose lips has he got planted firm
like,
around right at the moment?
At home, it's different online. Just don't do it in the kitchen.
I don't know. He was talking about somebody bringing out the best in him or something.
I'm SOL'd on that one.
You know what I mean.
And absolutely. But I really do my best to look at the other side of the coin.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting pissed off and making what could be considered a rash decision and reacting to something. Mm-hmm. More times than not, before I even open my mouth, I will have at least thought about the other side of it for just 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
And then usually that's when, the guy's side and a little bit of machismo kicks in, and then it's game over.
Oh, he's done more than stolen valor, bro.
But I at least give that other side, even when I'm pissed off, I give that other side at least, I give myself a moment's pause and give that other side at least a second to go, oh, wait a minute.
It makes you grow as a person.
People on his own side,
and
or like
that's name. I guess you could say that on most things, I'm a fence walker on a lot of things.
Against him,
and one of the reasons that you may not have heard why I keep politics and religion out of here.
Because you're not religious.
I do that on my I don't keep religion out of any aspect.
Oh, yeah. Well, I try to keep it out of the chat, and I never make a religion or politics a specific subject matter for the simple fact that
I agree.
It takes away
absolutely
from why we're actually
absolutely
here. And what I mean by that is
needed, buddy.
While yes, everybody has their own beliefs, everybody has their own beliefs in both religion and in politics. Most of the people that come in here are above average intelligence, and they
I don't know. The jury's still out on that one.
What is this? I smell a treat.
I smell a trip fucking.
Now that is
the dogs are cute, man. You can't take it out on the doggies. The doggies are cute.
No, that's why Scott McCrae is because I have
love the doggies
never in my life seen two things that just in a discussion, especially among mass people, that will erode people's common sense and understanding and empathy for other people like those two subjects. And
I have a separate channel I started so I can do my politics stuff.
Hey, Black National Freedom Fighter.
What's up, Black?
That's why is because, for the same reason that I keep drama out of here.
I'm sorry, guys.
It's just because
the same reason he keeps people out of there is because he don't want to have to answer all the questions and taking accountability for all the lies that are catching us with him. That's why he keeps
even though they're constitutional rights, there's just two things that will never
more people to know about it. But
I
heard this guy lying.
Now, wow, they are multiplying.
Bullshit.
That's three pretty firm missiles.
I'm sorry.
Leia's just here visiting.
Who's this guy?
I don't have a purple heart. I'm going to play with the new kid.
Yeah.
I don't have a purple heart. I have a feeling we're going to be puppy shopping on vacation this week. Judging by
I was a weekend warrior.
The next room.
Please adopt, don't shop.
I am nothing against.
Oh, absolutely. No, before we got together, Kimmy took in rescue dogs all the time and helped rehome.
Yeah, she took you in.
That's Mr. Zed and I volunteered for
she ran out of dogs to rescue. So she's rescuing
I was about
you.
to say the name of the place, but
I don't think it's working.
But we volunteered for a rescue, and
I don't think it's working.
Foster dogs all the time.
No,
are you going to foster Wrangler now with his stolen valor?
To let them go.
Insatiable
but
lies.
when you see them going to a good home, it's so rewarding.
Precisely, social informed media. And my only opinion on abortion is this: because I am a man, if I would,
that's debatable about being a man.
And I'm going to rip off a line from Law and Order SVU here. But if anybody were to ever ask me my opinion on Roe v. Wade, it would simply be it's two ways to get across a creek. For the simple fact that regardless of any religious implications on it or not, my view on it is this.
Oh, he's fixed to open a can of worms.
I am a guy. I was born a guy. I will be unalived at some point as a guy. Therefore, I have absolutely zero opinion or right to have an opinion on the care and caring of a child until I'm able to do it. So until they make that Junior movie real life, that's where I stand on it as a guy, just in general. Now,
but wait a minute, Wrangler. I thought you had a child.
I guess you could say a lapsed Catholic.
Exactly.
I was raised up to believe in certain things.
Yeah, he got $2,000 from his supporters by lying and saying he had a child, and it was her birthday.
But that's what I'm saying. I thought he had a child.
Exactly.
The whole little problem I have with Roe versus Wade, right? Women wanted equal rights as men. So, okay, if they want equal rights as men, then men have every right to
exactly, Bandit. He can't even lie face to face to KZ. Exactly. It's fucking sad. That dog's beautiful. I like the doggy.
I banged out 9 surgeries in about 7.5 years.
Now let me get this straight. I have no.
All of them orthopedic. 6 of them hardware. I banged out 9 surgeries in about 7.5 years. All of them orthopedic. 6 of them hardware. I banged out 9 surgeries in about.
You know, I never had a problem telling everybody on a chat, in a live, that I have PTSD. I have been injured. I've had 9 surgeries, 2 gunshot wounds, and I still have frag next to my spine. And all of that was pretty much pale in comparison to what was going on in my head.
KZ is actually cool. I watch her show. I like her true crime show.
Recognition. Yeah. I don't want recognition. I was doing that from 17 to 32 years old. And here I am 41, and I still don't know what the correct response is when people like you gentlemen, and Miss Reaper, I'm me, Miss Kim Crawford there, Kimmy Dom, Warriors Rage Pokey.
Yeah.
I still don't know what the proper response is when people like you tell me thank you for your service.
Oh my God. It's because you never were a freaking veteran. You never served.
I probably would have unalived myself. I would have probably canceled my own birth certificate that if I looked so bad that somebody thought I was Glenn Serio.
Wow.
That's it. Time to end it and start over.
Something, because, aside from the fact that, dude, you got trespassed, frauditing a landfill.
Oh, the person
Think about
that
Rowdy
for
Patriot, 1 second. You got trespassed,
other lives,
frauditing a landfill.
That's all right.
Really? And you want to get mad because I make fun of you for that.
Oh, and you're getting mad at us?
That doesn't make me the mean kid from high school, because I'm not that guy.
Who the hell audits a landfill?
I know the sweetest people in the world that if they even knew what frauditors were, and you told them, hey, I frauded a landfill and
I think the only time I would
from there, and then
do any news story on the
mistaken
landfill
for one of the most disgusting human beings on the face of the planet. I don't care. Mother Teresa would have been throwing a few shots at you. But that's just my opinion.
You sick son of a bitch. Don't you eat fucking Mother Teresa and all that shit out of there.
Yes,
You don't
I'm
even no fucking
a
right.
big Dennis Miller fan from
You're
the 90s.
a piece of shit.
Even though I was a kid, I used to love his HBO Friday nights.
You're constantly lying that you can't even fucking.
I never had HBO, so.
Well, you remember Dennis Miller from Saturday Night Live? He did the Weekend Update. Well, they basically turned it into a show.
Hello, Jen.
And every Friday night he would do it on HBO, and even had the theme song to it was "Tears for Fears." Everybody wants to rule the world.
Everybody wants to rule the world.
And he'd have a different celebrity guest every week. The three I remember off the top of my head were Charlie Sheen, Robin Williams, God rest him, and Sandra Bullock.
I agree. South Bama.
Sandra Bullock is
oh my god,
my husband's girlfriend.
Amen.
That's his favorite actress.
Oh, okay.
Like if he had to pick,
I get the same thing about Carrie Underwood.
Yeah. So, mine used to be Matt Damon, but then he spoke. Like he's okay to look at, as long as he doesn't talk.
Woman, you said it.
Crossroads.
I still do not believe that his wife is real. But
I don't know who that was.
He
not
did
going
talk
to
to
speak
someone,
on
and
wives being real or not real. Or
a lady was talking in the background, but she had a deep voice, like a really, really old lady or man, or trans or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Pictures and then the little roast
paid a hooker to play.
My all-time favorite was Boris Yeltsin holding this big like
exactly
more like a bucket, and he's looking down at it like
women of the night have to have a job too.
And Dennis Miller's line to this was, "Hey, who put beer in my vodka glass?"
That's why this is such a big deal to me. I'm sorry.
And then that was also at the height of Bill Clinton and the impeachment and the cigar jokes, and I think my all-time favorite was that Bill Clinton recently joined AARP. I guess he thought it stood for.
I'm sorry, but that was not funny. So I'm just gonna mute it. I just can't stand this guy because due to medical reasons, I had no right, or not right, but I didn't have the ability to join. But everybody in my family has served.
I have a grandfather and an uncle and a great uncle and several other members of my family that served that were injured during combat, received the Purple Heart, who stood shoulder to shoulder with men and women who gave their lives. And for this guy to come up there and claim that he was shot 4 times during combat, or 2 times, two times during combat, was injured during an armored vehicle attack, and does not have a Purple Heart, is one of the biggest disgraces to men and women that served who were actually injured.
And being shot twice so he was shot on 2 different occasions, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't shot twice at the same.
Okay, don't get me wrong. The people that wash out during basic or AIT, but honestly, y'all shouldn't be calling yourselves vets. Y'all tried to join, but I'm sorry, you're not a vet if you wash out in basic or AIT.
Exactly, Big Mike. You've never been shot. You've never even fucking went to Afghanistan. You never even went out of fucking training.
Oh, he could have probably been shot, but probably during basic.
I don't believe it. No. It's bullshit. And if he still had a slug, which according to a lot of other people, they don't use that word, slug. If he still had a bullet in his fucking shoulder and they didn't take it out, I'm sorry, he'd be in the hospital right now dealing with sepsis.
Yeah,
he'd be septic right now. I'm sorry.
The word slug is like a deer slug.
It's common sense, you know.
Not only Mr. Zed, not only Dave, but I was in the Marine Corps as well.
And you're supporting this motherfucker?
All the conversations that you and I have had, all the chats that me and your hubby have had, and all the, the conversations that you, I, Jafar, and Weapons have had together that, you being Devil Dog would have come up.
It was something along
at least one crayon joke.
And allegedly, Kfar is a felon who likes to make fun of people.
Yeah, I was watching
I've got one
last night.
That
Kfar did serve, but he supposedly served as like a janitor on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he was a janitor. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's.
Hey, if he served in the military, no matter what his job was, he's still honorable.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I kept my mouth shut. Because I still respect everybody who served, for no matter what reason.
Yeah.
Really?
Even though he served in two different services, he's fake. But so I love messing with my brother-in-law. Mm-hmm. I do. You know that whole Army Marine Corps rivalry thing.
All four branches, really.
Well, yeah, but there's always going to be that one special one between Army and Marine Corps.
Yeah.
And so I've never seen, because I'm in Virginia right now, Shadow 22. So when she moved out there, one of the guys that worked for her, I paid him a little bit of money and I gave him a little paper bag.
Okay.
And I told him, I'm like, all right, I want you to do this. And it also had some pre-written Post-its.
Purple RBG.
And I was like, anytime I text you, I want you to put one of each on the desk, on his desk, and then just go right back to work. Now, he had no idea who was doing this.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, Kimmy and I are in Austin, and he's in Virginia. So what he would do is he would go back into his office, and on his desk, he'd find a box of crayons with a Post-it on it that said, "Hey, I heard you skipped lunch today."
I'm sorry, but is anybody watching this?
Like, oh, anybody mad? He cussing.
Because I'm sorry, I didn't.
Mr. Zed has favorite flavors.
No,
he
Rowdy.
Likes the purple ones and the red ones.
I was going to say, I heard most Marines like the.
Oh yeah, let me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he said red is his favorite, purple is his second favorite.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's another thing. He said he got shot by an N or 9mm.
A Russian 9mm. And the only Russian 9mm that pops in my head is a Makra. There might be others, but that's about the only one.
Yeah. Not in training. I'm not. No. Sorry. No.
Maybe if he was in Russia, yeah.
Yeah, if he was in Russia, maybe. Fuck.
Yes, a 9mm by a soldier.
On two different occasions.
During combat, he was shot with a 9mm.
On 2 different occasions.
On 2 different, he was shot twice.
One by his spinal cord.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's still able to travel and move like anybody else.
It would have either been a 45 or a 40.
It also is where the Marine Corps MPs go to train.
Oh, I didn't realize they were.
Yeah, they're training. Marine Corps MPs, they used to be anyway. They're trained at the United States Army Military Police School. And but say that we were off post, sitting in just a group of us. Now, yeah, we're going to be sitting there throwing shots at each other. But say Joe Blow, civilian moron, comes up and says something off kilter. Well, I heard Marines are stupid. It's probably going to be the soldier sharing the beer with the Marine that stands up and puts that logo on his ass.
It's exactly the same. When my husband talks about his brothers, now he has actual brothers.
If that motherfucker ever comes out,
but when he's talking about his brothers, it's more than just a word that he uses for the people that he's served with. They are family. And if you, like, I have a little brother, not News No Enemy, another brother that I just don't get along with. We just.
Mikey. Kaiser.
We just don't get along. But if you came at my little brother
right now,
you're gonna. Somebody's getting their throat.
Somebody's
slashed.
getting hurt. Somebody's getting hurt.
I don't know about hurt. Ended. Birth certificate canceled.
I don't like him. I can talk shit about him all day long. That's fine. Somebody who doesn't know us, just don't talk about my brother.
Absolutely. And
it's the same way with the and that's another thing I wanted to bring up, and I hate to harp back at this, but
so that girl doesn't like anybody
to Mr. Zed. We have
he
actually he was in our wedding.
Care about people who makes fun of everybody
best
else.
friend in the whole world that he served with.
Other people
was injured in combat.
Does he even know
and does not have a Purple Heart?
Marine Corps
and the reason he does not have a Purple Heart is because he was
Fort Leonard Wood.
There were 6 other guys. I might get the numbers wrong on this because it's not my story, but there were guys that didn't make it, and he was supposed to be the one to protect them, and he survived. So he did not apply for it. He does not want.
You don't apply for a Purple Heart; it's awarded.
Something that
you're
he
full of
should not
shit.
have lived through.
If you are injured in combat, you receive a Purple Heart. End of story.
So there's many reasons. That's just one of them. One personal story that I know.
You get it, and if you don't want it.
A guy that was a groomsman at a wedding. Like
we have vets that have said they've received it and they didn't want it, so they threw it away. But they still got it, and it was still on their fucking VA card. Right?
Absolutely. You don't apply. You don't apply for a Purple Heart. It's awarded.
No shit. It's a fucking award.
I'm a veteran, and I get it. I've seen the pain.
Another thing, another thing that made me. I'm glad you brought that up. And yes, Scott McCrae, is a lot of people have seen things like Band of Brothers, and if you remember that miniseries, one of the scenes that it showed was the hospital scene where they were actually going. They had a couple of officers going from hospital bed to hospital bed, handing out Purple Hearts like they were decorating a Christmas tree.
That's not how it works.
Well, that's how it
is.
Now, no.
What the fuck?
And that's just how that works. And it is what it is. I know people that stood there at a formation.
Yeah.
And were presented with an award.
That's another thing, guys.
Simply because they were ordered to.
Even his friend, Frauder,
period.
Right?
In the story. And
said that
the
when he
takeaway
lies,
from that, Loki spent layer says, and I'm stuck with someone who sounds like freaking Arlie Ermy. You're right. You are Loki, but she's your daughter. And from what Loki has told me, little Loki will climb up on the top of the table.
I was just going to say
that finger in the air and start addressing Daddy.
That's adorable.
Ready to say that.
I know.
He's
and
talking about a TV show. You're right.
She
Going
said
to the
that,
hospital and stuff.
This is, Mr. Loki.
That's where he thinks
will try to be firm.
And it's
what
the sad part about it is
like
he doesn't realize
because apparently that child,
because he's so stupid that this chick's baiting him into
that's right. Micro Loki will
telling off on himself.
Absolutely, Loki. I have no doubt.
You watch.
And yes,
she knows exactly. Look at her. You can tell by her facial expression and everything else. She knows he's fucking lying, and she just let him lie. He's exposing himself. The more he talks, he's exposing himself. And look, she knows it too.
I think what would be an interesting stream, and I'm just going to set this up for you guys because some men just need a woman to be in charge of logistics.
Already said in the past.
You were Army.
Previously.
My husband's a Marine, KFAR's Navy, and weapons. Air Force. I think the 4 of you on a stream just talking. You don't even have to have a subject. Would be a great stream. Because like you were saying,
I would love to see him on the stream with other military guys that are true military guys. He would get exposed
other
so
people
quick.
come in, but to have all four branches,
that has Mrs. Wrangler's stamp of approval on it.
Yeah, if all four, I think it would just be interest. I would watch it, is what I'm saying, and not just because the most handsome man on the planet's going to be in it, but because I think
yes, because of course, because Kimmy already said I'd be in it. I mean, you already know.
My video drops in 5 minutes.
David mentally,
but I'm sorry, my hooker for the evening. I mean, really, that's pretty bad when it's like, all right, we said this and it didn't work. We said this and it didn't work. This blew up in her face. Oh, I got an idea. In our next move of desperation, let's just call her a whore.
Ridiculous.
What?
It's like, how about you just admit you effed up?
They can't admit they were wrong. They can't admit they were wrong.
Oh no, they'll double and triple and and let me ask you this. If you know you're wrong and you've been proven wrong and you're still doubling and tripling down, how is that not fraud?
Well, it's a sign of maturity. I should say it's a sign of immaturity to not be able to admit when you're wrong. What's mature is to have your mind changed, to get more evidence.
I don't know,
and
Bandit.
Then adjust your thinking to go with the information that you have.
Mm-hmm.
It's not immature to make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes.
What he's doing is
Everybody
wrong. He just doesn't give a shit.
Is making decisions with the information that they have available at the time that they're making the decision. What's mature?
He's a fucking sociopath.
Look into the camera. If you and not just anybody, but if you looked into the camera and said, "This is a fact. We looked up these records. It doesn't exist," is to get on the camera and look into it and say, "I messed up. Here's what I found." And there's people who've looked into that camera who have not gone back to correct their error. In fact,
they're tripling down on the shit.
The mistake stream is still there.
Mm-hmm. Not only are they doubling and tripling down, they're going to other pissant channels to try to bring them into it. And then they're going out and taking their fraudulent behavior that much further because they're creating fraudulent accounts in other legit entities' name.
Shut the fuck up.
The plethora of emails that I got before, from the time I created that thumbnail, I didn't even mention names. I didn't even put weapons named in there. I just had
our photo.
I had the thumbnail, which I make the same.
First off, for the record, I'm not making any fraudulent accounts. I haven't talked to anybody.
It's not exactly the same. Obviously, the subject matter
looking
changes.
Damn good in those Ray-Bans? Absolutely, I thought it was.
I'm actually talking about
like. Did too, by the way.
Anyway, mute this clown for a second.
For each one of my shows for the thumbnail, so people know what they're gonna get. It's a branding. Yeah, it's branding. So I put the thumbnail out, and I got these emails.
So what's up?
I just wanted to say for those that didn't know that.
Yes, it's happening. Yeah, it's going to happen in about
60 seconds.
Okay, so, I'm going to end this live, guys, and I'm
drop the link if you would, and everybody join over there.
I'm going over to Nightmare Audits because Wrangler's going to be there with it's an exclusive. You guys will love it.
I think you're going to enjoy it.
It's all in pure entertainment, and you will love it. So, everybody have a great night. And I hope you realize this sociopath is a piece of shit.
And I will be doing a live afterwards, so y'all stay tuned for that.
Yeah, I'll be a part of that, guys. And I love you all. Thank you all. I don't have a purple heart.
I don't have a purple heart. I don't have
a great night.